We've been told the ultimate American dream is owning your home free and clear. You write that final check, throw a mortgage-burning party, and finally feel safe. But what if I told you that by paying off your house, you might have just made yourself financially fragile? Imagine it's 6 months after your big payoff. The economy tanks, you lose your job, and your car's transmission dies. You have $500,000 in equity sitting in your walls, but you can't buy groceries with a brick, and you can't pay a mechanic with drywall. When you ask the bank for a loan, they turn you down because you don't have an income. You are house rich but cash poor, and that is a dangerous place to be. Let's talk about why the debt-free emotion is costing you millions. This is about arbitrage. Banks get rich by borrowing money at a low rate and lending it at a higher one. You can do the same thing. If your mortgage rate is 3% or 4% and you're aggressively paying it down, you are essentially investing in a savings account that only pays 4%. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 historically returns 8 to 10%. By rushing to pay off that loan, you are choosing a lower return and paying what I call a fear tax. Over 30 years, that decision to pay off the house instead of investing can cost you over $1 million in potential wealth. Most people think risk is owing money, but in reality, risk is not having access to money. Equity is dead money. It produces no cash flow and stays trapped until you sell the house. If you keep the mortgage and put that extra cash into a brokerage account, you have a liquidity buffer. If life hits you hard, the person with the mortgage and $500,000 in the bank is significantly safer than the person with a paid-off house and zero cash. Cash gives you runway and options. A paid-off house just gives you a roof you might not be able to afford the taxes on. Here's the secret the banks don't want you to focus on. Inflation is the debtor's best friend. When you have a 30-year fixed mortgage, your payment stays the same, but the value of the dollar drops. In 20 years, your $2,000 mortgage payment might only have the purchasing power of $800 today. You are paying the bank back with cheap, inflated dollars in the future. By paying it off early, you're doing the bank a favor by giving them valuable dollars today. There is also a major legal reason to keep the mortgage: asset protection. If you have 100% equity in your home, you are a juicy target for a lawsuit. If you have a high mortgage, you look poor on paper because the bank technically owns most of the asset. This makes you unattractive to creditors while your real wealth stays liquid and hidden in your investment accounts. So what should you do? Stop paying extra principal. Take that extra $500 or $1,000 a month and put it into a separate brokerage account. Let's call it your freedom fund. Invest it in a low-cost index fund. In a decade, that account will likely be worth far more than the interest you saved. You'll have the money to pay off the house whenever you want, but you maintain control of the principal. Stop optimizing for a trophy and start optimizing for a fortress of liquid cash. Low-interest debt isn't a sin. It's a tool that allows you to leverage your wealth and stay protected. If this changed how you look at your mortgage, hit that like button and share this with someone who is obsessed with being debt-free. See you in the next video.